Hello everyone and welcome back to Raquel Teaches Code. My name is Raquel and in today's lesson I'm going to be teaching you how to insert links on a website using HTML. Now this is going to be part one of the tutorial so you can understand the basics of inserting a link, and then part two will show you how to do some more advanced things with links on a web page. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty. So we're going to continue using the HTML file that we've created in previous tutorials. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be inserting links above the images that we've already inserted. So I'm going to go ahead and place my cursor after the paragraph element and go to a new line so I can insert the element that we're going to use for links. Now links are going to be an inline type element. So we're going to put the break in between it, before it, the link element tag, so that it can be on its own line. So we're just going to put a break there. And so to insert a link on a page, we're going to use the A tag, okay? And it looks just like it sounds. So we're going to put a left angle bracket and the letter A. And then the link element uses what's called the href attribute, right? And it's just what it sounds like, href. And you use the equal sign with that and the two sets of quotes. And what this does is this allows us to indicate where the user is going to be directed to. It can be going to another website altogether. It can be going to another web page within the website that you're on. It can be directing the user to another location on the page that they're viewing. So it can be any one of those things. So for this first example of a link, we're going to be just directing the user to a different website altogether. And so of course, in the interest of a little bit of self-promotion, I'm going to be including a link to the HTML playlist for this channel as our first link example. So I've already copied the URL for that link in a blank document. I'm just going to paste it here. Okay, so you see that it goes in between the two sets of quotation marks. And so the link tag, the A tag, does have to be closed, and it's two parts too. So you have to close this first opening part of the tag, and then the closing part of the tag is just another set of angle brackets with the slash and an A in between them. Okay, so now in between the opening part and closing part of this tag is where we can insert our link text. And the link text is simply the text that the user will see to let them know that this is something they can click to take them to a new place, a new direction. So on some websites, you may see this as look here or click here or see here. But it's generally more useful to actually tell the user where they're going to with this link test. So for this example, I'm just going to say exactly what it is that where you're going to be directed to when you click this. So I'm going to put HTML playlist on Raquel. I can't even spell. Raquel Teaches Code. Okay. And so if I go ahead and Control S just to save that, I'm going to save the changes. Now I'm going to go to the browser and I'm going to refresh here and hopefully it'll show a link. And it does, right? We see that it has the link text. And this appears purple because I've already previously visited this link in this web browser before. But when it's a brand new link that's never been visited, it will appear as blue, okay? Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and show you that as an example as well. So for example, if I do, let's do something like, my favorite place to shop, eBay, right? And I type buy cheap textbooks on eBay, okay? I hit that. Now, when I refresh this page, that new link I just inserted should be blue. And yes, it is, right? Because I've never visited it. But of course, I'm going to click on the link from my playlist because that's what I want y'all to see. So if we click on that link, it'll take us to the HTML playlist for this channel. And wow, I know these are some of the older videos I made before I updated the look of the channel. So, but these videos are still good, so you should definitely watch them, okay? And let me know if you have any questions. But that's what happens. That's the default behavior of a link, that it'll open up in the same page that you're viewing, okay? And if you want to get back to the page you were at, you just click the back button. Alrighty. So that's the first way of inserting a link. Now, links also allow us, the A element or the link element also allows for opening the link in a different manner. And so the most commonly used manner is also opening the link in a new window or a new tab, depending on how your browser settings are set up, right? And so for that, the link element allows us to use what's called the target attribute. So I'm going to go ahead and add the target attribute here so you can see what that looks like. So I'm going to add it to the link for eBay in our example. So where you would add the target attribute is after the href attribute, right? So you can just add a space here, type the word target. Yeah, I really need to turn off these suggestions when I'm doing these tutorials. And so when we want to indicate that the link should be opened up in a new window, we want to set the value for the target attribute to the phrase underscore and then blank, right? And you see that already comes up as an option for Visual Studio Code as well. Okay? This is what tells it, hey, when the user clicks on this link, open it up in a new window and let the window that they're currently viewing remain open where they're at, right? So I'm going to go ahead and Control S to save this change. And let's refresh the browser and then test it out, right? Because one of the things we always want to do when we're developing websites is that we always want to test to make sure it works as expected. So first we're going to refresh to make sure that the new changes are recognized by the browser. And now we're going to click on that eBay link. And what it should do is that it should take us to eBay. So let's see if that works. Oh, it does not. Now I wonder why. I must have typed something incorrectly. So maybe I just need to type the HTTPS. This is the wonderfulness of never editing your videos. All errors are included. Okay, so let's refresh this again. Let's hit this. Yeah, so you definitely should include the complete URL. But we see that when I click that, it did open it up in a new tab. And so the original page that we are viewing remains here, and then the link opens up in the new tab. All right, and so that's what you want to make sure of, that when you're entering a location for a new website, that make sure that you first have it correct and make sure that it's complete. You know, if it's not complete, it's not correct. So that's one of the things that you definitely want to keep in mind when inserting links into a web page. Okay, so that is the way that it works. So that's the basics of how to insert a link on a web page using the link element, the A tag. Okay, if you found this helpful, please go ahead and click like and also please subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified when new tutorials are uploaded. If you know anyone that might find this helpful, please share it with them and encourage them to subscribe to the channel as well. And be sure to stay posted for part 2 of this tutorial, where I'll show you more advanced and interesting ways of using the link element to display links on a web page. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless and take care.